At 13, I started running into the street life. I got even more serious when I reached 16 and 17. At 17, I had to do 4.5 years in prison. So I'm gonna let you know how I escaped the street life mindset. It wasn't easy, but see me, I hopped off the porch because you know, I come from Section 8 housing. If you don't know, that's like assistance when your parents need assistance, or I mean, your parent needs assistance. I was raised by my mom, so without my father, I know my father, but he wasn't in the picture. So coming up like that, struggling, I had it in me. I wasn't gonna struggle, so I would start running the streets, start stealing a little bit here and there, cars, burglaries, houses, stuff like that. Then eventually, I got me a job, so I chilled. I tried to do the right thing, but it just didn't stick. And eventually, when that COVID hit, and it was like I felt that pressure, I started doing robberies, even more robberies. I became a full-time robber, and that was who I was. I was robbing restaurants, businesses, trying to get to the safe and get as much money as I could. Um, all in all, I did some risky things, and it's God the reason that I'm here. Like it's nothing but God. Like I'm clearly saved by God, and this isn't even the worst part of my testimony. But how I escaped that street life mindset was this. Um, so when I went to prison, honestly, it got worse. Like when you go to prison, you're around nothing but convicts. And I learned even more stuff. So originally what I was going to do when I got out was I was going to turn it up a bit. I said, no, okay, I'm not going to commit no crime. I'm going to be smart. But if it gets to that point where I'm going to go back into crime, I'm going to use everything I learned. So I was stacking up knowledge while I was in prison, but I was trying to be wise, so I was studying as well. But I still had that street life mindset of, you know, go up in my financial life by any means necessary. So really, what made me escape that street life mindset was when I took a look around in prison, and I finally accepted that the truth is the truth. You know, I can live a fantasy if I want to, and that's my choice. But if you were really in the street life, you know that it's going to come a certain point in time where it's going to be your time to get caught, whether that's doing time, whether that's death, your death, or somebody in your family getting hurt. Like, you know it's a game. Everybody know that. It's a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. And I had plenty of examples around me in a Texas prison letting me know that, say, this is not going to work out. Like, men going back to prison, back to prison, back to prison. Like, luckily not dead, but constantly repeating the same things, turning it up, thinking they could do it different this time. But they kept getting caught, and that stuck with me. And after seeing so much of that, so many men that had been in prison so many times, it stuck. You know what I mean? Like, I might think I'm wise at 19 years old or whatever, but I'm not that smart. I'm not smart enough to keep committing crime and keep. If these people in here, they got all this money, and you got some people in prison that got money, like money, and they got all this money, but they doing time. They locked up. Like that's not my goal. My goal was to escape the street life. Period. So once I accepted that the street life was not something I was going to be able to win at, I started trying to really see what it was I could do to be a hustler. Because I thought of myself as a real hustler. So I said, I'm a real hustler. I don't got to be a criminal. Like, I could really go out there and do it without having to commit crime. So I started to find things that I could really put my foot in. things that I could learn and things that I had faith that I could really do good at after studying it and getting to know it. But the biggest factor was God, because even doing that, I still had that criminal mindset until I picked up that Bible and started reading Proverbs and start gaining all that wisdom that King Solomon was talking about. That's when I really escaped that criminal mindset. Like God will do it. I don't know how else to say it. God will do it. But me, I was in prison. I had so much time to read that Bible and to actually open it up for myself and read it, and not just like listen to what anybody else was saying. So that's my advice. If you want to escape that prison, that street life mindset, even if you sitting on 100 racks right now, whatever you got in your bank account, bro, for sure you have to look behind your shoulder and you have to wait on a scenario. You know what I mean? That you have to avoid. When you live your life clean, you don't got to do all that. And that's another thing, because I always wanted to leave the streets. I just wanted to be in that street life just to get the resources I need, so then I could flip it, turn it, and then escape. But honestly, that's the least of your worries, because the Word of God say a lot of things. You live in your life in that wicked path, the wickedness will catch up with you even quicker. Based off what I've seen, I'm not going to tell you anything I believe, what I've seen. And from me personally, my wickedness, the wicked lifestyle I was living, it caught up with me so quick, versus someone who just don't believe in God. Because it's saying in the Bible there's going to be a judgment day, and there will be a judgment day. And I would encourage you just to read it, because Christianity is not a religion. I learned that in prison. They have all these religions, and Christianity is the truth of the world. There's multiple religions based off the Bible. The Bible itself is not a religion. It's the truth. And I'll do a part 2 on this and go even more into detail. But I wanted to give you like the first thing that really helped me escape. It was that Word of God. And someone told me that a long time ago when I was still in that street life mindset, and I didn't listen, because I didn't even open up the Bible. But eventually, doing more time, I learned. I put my foot in. I put one foot in, and then I put both in. So I hope this helped. If you got a testimony, you can leave it in the comments. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna respond if you want a response and all that. But yeah, stay blessed by reading that Bible and getting to see the truth of the world. Because it's true or it's not. You read the Bible and you see that it's not true, then I guess it's not true. But it's true. And if you just take the time to read it like any other history book, because it is a history book, then you'll see that. But stay blessed.